Hello everyone, and welcome to an Enshrouded build video. Today we are finishing off the storage room that will be living underneath our village. The first thing I decided was put in a different flooring, just something to give the room a little bit of a warmer feel against the obsidian's cold feeling. I experimented for a little while with different flooring pieces, and ultimately decided to give myself a pretty hard time by making a patterned flooring. I couldn't decide what colors to go with. I just knew that I wanted it to definitely bring some warmth into the room. I decided to go with the confer mixed in with the shroud. I just think that the two woods next to each other in the pattern look really good. But I was not expecting how long this was actually going to take me. I think I spent about probably 50 minutes, maybe an hour, just putting this flooring in. It did take some time, but the end result, definitely worth it. You'll see here that I decided to put an instep in, so the floor is actually going to be even deeper into the room than originally planned. But once it's all done, it's going to look amazing. While I was busy with the flooring here, I also decided that I'd do an inset in one of the walls so that I could have a big wooden feature. I wasn't sure exactly what I would do with it just yet, but I was excited for the way that the room was shaping up. Placing each of these blocks was a pain. I really wish that there was a way to do this a bit quicker, but at the end of the day, seeing the end result made every single block worth it. I decided that I was going to trim each of the corners with a little bit of the well block, just to give it more of a accent, I guess. Very small detail, I know, but when you know it's there, it matters more. An hour-long building adventure of block by block was finally complete. And it was time to finish off my storage walls. Looking up at the room, I realized that even with those little metal blocks, it is pretty plain. So I decided that once I had tackled all the shelving, it was time to start making the room feel like it was less flat and adding some dimension in places where I felt it needed. I used the well block to create the bases of the shelves, put in the glowing green blocks for that really amazing green light, and I knew that I had to measure out 2 blocks per chest. I decided that I was going to quickly have an experimental period where I did something to give this wall a little bit more depth. This is the part where I immediately noticed one of the big calculating mistakes that I made when building the room. If you figured it out, leave it in the comments. I experimented quite a bit with these insets. I tried using the red marble with the well. I also tried different woods. And then I think at one point I even had glowing blocks in there. Ultimately though, I decided to go with the conifer wood and a little bit of the well block just to keep the theme of the room together. Now I was on to getting my chests in. I built through the shelving, keeping in mind again 2 blocks per chest, and I wanted one at the bottom, one at the top for the entirety of the row. I also then grabbed the middle of the wall and created supporting pillars. I did this on both shelving sides so that I could keep the theme current. It also would help me with sorting later on when I get to actually storing all my stuff inside. I still haven't decided how I'm going to label each side. I am thinking of using maybe tools or raw pieces or something just to label each section. I know that I'm going to need one for carpentry, one for mining, one for food and potions, and I'll also need one probably for the plants and farming and stuff like that. I just am not sure yet how exactly I'm going to get that labeling done. But as soon as I do, I'll probably put a short out. So make sure you have subscribed so that you know when the new videos are out. With the insets above the shelves done and the shelving space done, I decided to carve out my big inset wall that was going to be a big wooden wall. I wasn't sure if I would pattern it or if I'd do anything special with it, but once I got just the conifer in there, I decided I was going to leave it just as is, add in some well block for the trimming, and maybe use it as a display wall. I could put mannequins or a painting or something up there. It just looked really good. The room was starting to come together now, and really the final pieces to be put in were just the chests. While I was happy with the result, I decided that the white ceiling, those glowing blocks we put in, they were a bit much, but I needed a break from being down there. So I headed upstairs to start putting in a foundation for our city center. Well, not really full foundation, just making it look a little bit better at the entranceway to our storage. I'm still unsure about exactly what we'll do with our city center here, but I figured this would be a good start. A lot of the raw rock feeling I got rid of, just to start tying in the themes of the downstairs. I even created this little frame where I put conifer wood in between the well blocks. Heading back inside, I thought I had a little bit of an idea on how to tone this down a bit. I also could not handle how out of line that ceiling was. I decided I would redo the glowing ceiling lights. It was not fun taking this part out. I really wish that I had been able to get the long pieces to work, because I had to remove the trim block for block for block. Whilst I was busy doing this though, I noticed how really good that green glow actually looked against the obsidian ceiling. So I decided I'd fill it all in and see how it felt before putting in more glowing ceiling, and that just looked amazing. The warmth that the lamps brought against the wood, it was perfect. So I decided, get some steel lighting, some braziers, and we'd keep it nice and warm just by lighting alone. Here's the end result. Massive storage room for all kinds of bits and pieces. I was ready to begin with the village. I think the first thing we'll do is probably build the perimeter wall, and then we'll move on from there. I'll see you guys in the next video.